Thank you very much, respected guests. Let me begin with welcoming you to this last session. If I'm not mistaken, this is the last session for the day.
Yes, the last session, and you have 25 minutes.
This is a very interesting session because you can see from the list of the panelists, we have virtually all the people that concern, from the banks, from the NICOM. Let me begin with welcoming Mr. Aminu Tukur, the lead panelist. Mr. Aminu Tukur, you are welcome, sir, from Noor Takaful Insurance. And then we have Mr. Sabiu Bello, MD Salam Takaful. Sir, you are welcome. Mr. Nasir Abubakar Singh, panelist from Crown Takaful. All right, thank you, sir. And then Mr. Ibrahim Usman Shehu, Jaiz Takaful, whom we visited a few weeks back. All welcome to this session. Just like the MC has said, Islamic finance is about, it has 4 components. The first one is banking, which many of us are aware of. And then we have Islamic capital markets. We just have a session with the SEC, Securities and Exchange, regulators of capital market. And then we have a Takaful, which is actually Islamic insurance, which is there to really protect the investors, to protect their interests, and also to protect the wealth, actually, so that people can make investment. Otherwise, there are potential dangers. And then we have Islamic social finance. We just ended a session on Islamic social finance with Professor Dogarawa taking the lead. So I welcome you to this session. Let me give 5 minutes to Mr. Aminu Tukur, please, to talk about what are you doing in Noor Takaful? What are the products that you have that you feel they are sufficient to cover the various investments in the economy? Recently held, I think, AGM in Lagos. We will love to hear more about what you are doing so that investors can feel more confident about investing their money in non-interest financial institutions. So you're welcome. So you have 5 minutes to begin with.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Yes, Alhamdulillah, the Takaful space has grown over the last 7-8 years as we've had 2 major operators here that have been that were the first generation, that is Jaiz Takaful and Noor Takaful. Over the last 7-8 years, we in the industry have been able to establish products across the various value chain, from the farming that we're talking about, which is a key sector in northern Nigeria today. We have products that deal with farmers, people in livestock, individuals in poultry. We spoke about poultry earlier on, taking care of your chickens during the Zakat session. So we have those kind of products. If you look at further down the value chain again, you look at the crops, you look at storage of the crops. There are products that protect you or protect your goods that you've kept at the warehouses. In addition to that, you're moving your goods from the warehouses to where they're going to be sold, either to the ports or to the wholesalers. You have goods in transit. So at every point in time, alhamdulillah, there are various products that protect you and your goods. And this is one of the most important things. I was meant to make a presentation. I'm not sure what has happened because I prepared a presentation on slides on this. And one of the things we tried to talk about, and we talked about protection. Takaful insurance, or insurance generally, does not make you rich. It only protects what you have gathered over a period of time. And now more than ever, we need that protection. We need that safety net. We need that comfort. Like you have said, for somebody to invest in you, he needs to have some level of comfort. If he knows, and that is why today, if you look at the bank, if you look at the Takaful industry or the insurance industry, who are the people that take insurance the most? Are people who are going to take banking facilities. whether it's a Nijara, whether it's a Mudaraba, whatever it is, the bank, the Jaiz Bank, the Taj Bank, the Lotus Bank would ask you to take on a facility. It would take on a Takaful cover because they need that extra comfort because anything can happen. There's a popular hadith that says, tie your camel. You know, so it is about tying your camel and ensuring that your goods and assets are protected. It is a safety net that we have been able to do over the years across. And yes, what we had recently in Lagos was the African Takaful and Non-Interest Finance Conference. Thank you.
Before I leave you to go, Mr. Aminu, what is the coverage so far you have in the industry? Because so far the Takaful is still at infancy, much infancy compared to Islamic finance. Less than 2% the total coverage. There are some insurance that even the last session, we understood that our Takaful could not cover. What's happening on that, please?
From the analysis we have done at Noor Takaful, I mean, we may be wrong. We estimate that all of us sitting here, our combined business is less than 1% of the total insurance business. That is from our own analysis. Two major reasons. Number one, we're unable to do a number of businesses. Clearly, we cannot cover things like breweries. We cannot, even when we do certain, provide insurance for certain conventional banks, which we do, we're unable to cover all their products. So we're excluded. But more importantly, because we are relatively new, and the Takaful model is based on risk sharing and the risk fund. The risk fund is actually what provides cover to anybody part of that risk. That risk fund has to grow. It is not only the shareholders fund. So when we go to the market, people talk about our shareholders fund. No, our shareholders fund is decent. It's growing. But what we need to grow is our risk fund. And our risk fund can only grow. And that's to allow us to take bigger capacity, bigger risk, for us to take on bigger challenges. And there also needs to be more partnership. We do have partnerships, but we have to grow our partnerships between the gentlemen sitting on this side of the stage. Thank you.
These are very interesting points. I really appreciate this partnership that you talk about. What one company could not cover, when you come together, you can actually cover it together. So I don't know whether there is real talk in the industry, because I sit in, one of the Marble Capital, in particular, Sharia Advisory. So we know when businesses come, and when we look at the insurance cover, sometimes we just see conventional insurance. So we understand there are hitches and there are issues of the size, what we can cover. So maybe I will come back to this. Then you go to Alhaji Sabiu Bello, the MD, CEO of Salam Takaful, to tell us from the Salam Takaful perspective, how far so far? Inshallah, the floor is yours, sir, for the next 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. To your first questions, you said what product do we have to protect investors? Yes. We actually have the products, so many products to protect the investors. Investors in business, we protect the business itself, the asset of the business, against, for example, property damage, losses, and what have you. That is the physical losses. We protect the company from the physical losses, the financial losses, and human losses, actually. So the entire investment, we have product to protect the investor. And the underlying asset, for example, if he takes money or from the bank, the underlying asset also we protect. We protect the fund itself, money insurance and what have you. So we have almost everything, all the product to protect the investor. So an investor is advised to come to us when he's investing. We are the starting point. The important thing is he will give us the contract or the proposal. We'll review the contract in entirety. And then we now identify the risks that are associated to that investment. And maybe carry out a survey and then come up with some recommendations to that investor so that he is well informed to take care of the risk. You know, Takaful or insurance is all about the risk of loss, uncertainty of unfortunate things happening. So we will advise and then quantify his exposure and then give him quotations. So we all do all this. Yes.
You have something to add? Okay, let me go to Mr. Nasir Abubakar, please, sir. The floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum. In Crown, we started operation this year to complement what the other three operators have been doing in the market. The main reason why we came on board as a Takaful operator is to actually drive the financial inclusion in terms of insurance and Takaful service to this part of the country. We both have worked in conventional. We know what it is to market insurance. Actually, if you go out to look for business, in some cases, the response is that it's not Islamic and they are not going to take it. And that has not in any way removed the business risks that entrepreneurs in this part of the country are facing. So you see people continuously suffering losses, and there is no fallback plan of recovering such losses. And when they do occur before the coming of Takaful, you don't have option of what you sell to them for them to be resilient and to have confidence to make substantial investment. And we also come to also add to the agriculture. You know, we have recently witnessed climate change and other things that is actually causing our farmers to lose a lot of investment. When flood comes, it wipes out everything and they will start again. So there is no mechanism for them to come back to farming without actually accessing maybe loan or something like that. That's the reason why we came. And all of us operators here, we have a license that gives us that authorization to do both general family businesses, because it's not only businesses that we have product for. We also have product that protect family. We have product that also encourage savings. That is almost non-existent in this part of the country. You understand, people hardly save or use insurance or Takaful product to save for what is going to happen. Most of us, I think we have made those products. We have gotten authorization to offer them to public.
All right. Thank you very much, MD, for the enlightenment about Crown Takaful. Actually, I'm getting to know it for the first time, sorry. I'm happy to know that Crown Takaful is coming into the Takaful industry in Nigeria. These are, again, sign of growth. You get more stakeholders, more companies coming to participate, and that will increase the growth when you are talking about less than 2%. So when people are investing, and that will increase and will mobilize resources. Thank you. I will go back. I will go to Jaiz, Mr. Ibrahim Usman Shehu, MD Jaiz Takaful Insurance. Like I said 2 months ago, I was in the bank. I mean, in the office, I saw some products that some are very interesting and catchy, including marriage Takaful. So in your discussion, I want you to talk about that also. What are the products and how far so far, and how can this marriage takaful help our society in the north? Thank you very much. Of course, in Nigeria. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum.
Salatu wassalamu ala rasulullah. Thank you very much. I will attempt to answer this question in several ways, but I think most importantly, I like to mention that we're in the north, and so therefore we should be practical in our discussion. And as operators, we must be able to make suggestions, recommendations, discussion that will make to bear on the life of our people. Now, first and foremost, as takaful operators, we are risk mitigants, we are risk managers. We are not risk bearers. Insurance people bear risk. Risk takers, they are risk bearers, but we are risk managers. So therefore, we are in a way running the business in the model that is suited to risk management. In other words, whatever business you are doing, risk management is very, very key. You know, in the earlier sessions in the morning, I've heard about people making money, you can come and do business, but you must be mindful that whatever business you are doing, the probability of loss is there. And so therefore, when you're looking for financing, there must be complementary segment of it that comes in, and that is risk management. And that's why when the banks gives you financing, they won't go without having to have a takaful protection, because every business has two possibilities of loss. First, pure risk, a risk that the takaful companies bear, or rather mitigate. Risk that can either give you loss or profit. Speculative risk, a risk that only go on profit, so we don't cover it at all. But essentially, I like to talk about the north in particular, which is where we are. Agriculture is our mainstay. We should be mindful of the fact that flood is there, drought is there, typhoon is there. We made presentation to some states which we identified as, very prone to flooding or drought, like Jigawa State. We made presentation to them because they need to have cover for their farmers in those states, especially where the state government comes to intervene. Now, places like Kano, what comes to mind readily in terms of business that they're doing is market risk. There are market fires in Kano, market fire in Sokoto, and many of our states, Gombe. So if takaful companies don't have capacity to provide that, what we should do simply is to borrow a leaf from what is happening in the conventional market. We all are aware of the liability pool, for instance.
Okay.
The liability pool was meant to pull resources together to take the risk of liability that was overwhelming to the conventional insurance companies. So if we take a leaf from that, we can form synergy and we can take the risk of fire in Sabon Gari market or Abakari market. And I tell you, when it happens, even though most times it happens in catastrophic nature, but these companies that we are together, collaborating together, can provide support.
Okay.
The same thing with, Sokoto and other places. Now, again, going down to our, lives and the way we run things. In Jaiz Takaful, for instance, we've come up with some products that we feel will meet the needs of our people. First, there's the Sallah plan.
No.
The Sallah plan was meant to achieve the objective of a Muslim person arranging or planning to meet the needs of his aid activities and slaughtering of his ram. So you can have a plan from us. We start saving small and we invest that money and we return in the investment into that your money to grow it bigger. So that at the end of the day, before Sallah comes, your policy matures and we give you the benefits. You can prepare your children for their Sallah. You don't need to start saving money for your children to have good clothing during Sallah. They have a plan already drawn, which you are paying conveniently to us.
Okay.
And then you are planning to get married, which of course we all are aware that today marriage is expensive.
Yes.
Because even the dowry is more than 100,000 naira.
No.
So you must start planning. Our minimum wage is less than 70,000 naira. We're all aware. So you need to start planning for marriage. You can take off a Jaiz Takaful policy for marriage. and then up you go. It's called the car plan. You have other plans that we have in the pipeline.
How many years is sufficient?
Maybe minimum 2 years. If you like, if you are a person that has the financial capability, you can take a 1 year policy, and that will be sufficient for you to run your marriage, and then you'll be able to build your home and all of those. We have very many products. What we need to do is first, as operators, collaborate. Secondly, create the necessary awareness. We've gone to Katsina to raise awareness. We've come to Kano. We're planning to come to Kano in conjunction with this one with us. We're still struggling to get that happen.
MD, thank you very much for the insightful discussions. Let me come back to Mr. Aminu. Alhamdulillah, recently you had your AGM and you declared some profit, and I want to talk about claims, because when you talk about Takaful, when you talk about conventional insurance, I'm sorry to say we know how exploitative it is. They'll tell you they'll cover this, they'll cover that. At the end of the day, you make even losses and you come to claim, and this claim is not coming because you have not fulfilled one condition or another. What is happening in Noor Takaful, and by extension other?
Yes. Yes, one of the reasons why insurance generally in Nigeria has not done so well is that people don't have trust and confidence that when something terrible happens and I go to my insurance or provider, I will not get my claim paid. And my background is not insurance. So when I entered into Takaful, we were hiring people, and at one point we were hiring a claims officer who was coming in from the conventional side. And I said to him, "Oh, how do you administer a claim?" And the first thing he said to me was, "We treat all claims as fraudulent until proven otherwise." And I said to him, "No. Under the Takaful model, and as far as we're concerned at Noor Takaful, all claims are genuine, except there's an issue to it." That's number one. So it's the attitude. It's the attitude of the operator, the attitude and intention of the operator to pay the claim. That makes so much of a difference. And I'll tell you this, the report we have gotten from the industry is all Takaful operators are quick to paying claims, all. And this is from the regulator point of view. So alhamdulillah, the Takaful operators have sent a message that we're in this to do serious business. Number two, because it is risk sharing and not risk transfer, the risk fund technically is not part of the operator's balance sheet. Okay, so really and truly, what is the risk Takaful operator doing with that? It is just to pay claims and claims associated costs. So we want to ensure that, look, while we grow our risk fund, that risk fund serves its purpose. And the primary purpose of the risk fund is to sort out claims. Again, if you look at the Takaful contract, and this is again across the Takaful operators, you find out that we don't have small prints. It should be clear. There should be no ambiguity. Okay, where there's ambiguity, then you have failed as a Takaful operator. And that is why we have our ACE, as Advisory Council of Experts. I might be rushing to do some things quickly, but my ACE would now call me and say, "Take it easy. This. And because they're independent, they're looking at things from the participant's point of view. They want to ensure that at every point in time, the participant is protected. So those prints are big enough to ensure that, look, it is clear so that there is no issue. And again, finally, Takaful is about equity and fairness. How I will treat a Jaiz bank because it is my biggest client, or how I'll treat the man who is driving the bus should be the same way. I shouldn't treat a Jaiz bank because they're giving me so much business better than the man who is driving their Soho on the road. They should all be treated in the same manner. It is difficult, but it is something that we try to do at all times. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this wonderful suggestion. Is there anybody want to add on this point? Yes, sir.
In addition to what he stated, actually, we should give Sharia upper hands, actually, because we adopt Sharia. That is why we are able to settle claims promptly without any issue. We spent more than 5 years, or about 6 years, and there is no single issue. No participant, no policy holder is complaining. There is no complaint raised to NICO, our regulator, and our companies have been solvent all through the years. The securities, we are to segregate our own fund. Okay. We have our own fund, which is operators fund, and then the policyholders fund. And even if we do not pay claims, we are not going to gain by not paying.
Because it's not your own.
Because it's not our own, right from the beginning.
So meaning to say that Takaful belongs to the participants.
Yes.
Unlike conventional insurance where it belongs to the shareholder.
Exactly.
All right, one last point. Maybe I'll have
the point I just want to add is
quickly.
The fact that, first and foremost, the objective is to settle claims. I think that should be a settled matter. So therefore, there is no reason why any operator would deny any customer its own money. But I think most importantly is the process and procedures of settlement of claim. By the time you follow the process and you are clear, for instance, in Jaiz Takaful, we made a threshold and we made a point, because that's where most companies get it wrong. When the customer completes the discharge voucher and gives it to you to settle, how long does it take you to pay that money? And that's the solution we provided to the Takaful or to the market when we came. We said within 24 hours, just mark my words. I've said this in Lagos, people are doubting, but it happened. In this town, I mentioned this to somebody called my former MD and said, see this boy, he's saying, I said yes, because I have the right to approve and have the right to equally tell the accountant to pay. Within 24 hours after receiving your discharge voucher, we settled the claim in Jaiz Takaful. And I think that's what happens to almost all the Takaful operators. So the regulator is aware. Commissioners of insurance are aware of this. Record is there. The market feels it. Everybody is aware. And that's why a lot of, I can tell you for free that in our records, non-Muslims are coming to us to ensure, because of that value we are adding to the team. So therefore, our business is for all. Anybody that seeks to get protection, or you have any financing that you want to get the best.
So Islamic finance is for all.
Yes, it's for everyone.
All the rooms.
Everyone. No bias about tribe, religion, or the country you come from. Provided you are working within the jurisdiction of Nigeria, we'll provide that cover for you.
Okay, thank you very much, MD. I have to stop here because we need to entertain some questions.
Do we have a question or two? 1, 2 questions?
2, 3 questions. Sir, before the question, MD Crown, please.
Yeah.
You have 1 minute.
I think what gives the Takaful company that upper hand to perform the way we are performing so far is that, the last session, the one that you have moderated, the first, yes, we have advisory council of experts.
Yes,
they are Sharia scholars.
Expert, yes.
They scrutinize all the document, the policy document, the claims handling document. They make sure that the operator in any way did not subcharge the participant.
So the Sharia governance is very strong. Okay.
And such, at the regulator level, they also have technical expert committee, which also review your document. With this, there are layers that protect participants.
So the protection is very sound.
Is very sound.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, I was made to understand that NICOM, the Takaful policy also, or guidelines. Of course, in my presentation earlier, I made general, but for the Takaful is one of the best. I know. So this is an invitation for all of us, actually, who are not covering our properties with the Takaful to come and benefit from what it provides. So let me open it for questions. I can see Al-Haji Saleh, number 1. Okay, Hajja, second. Okay, 2 questions. Number 3. Let us, Professor, you will cover, inshallah. The first, Al-Haji Saleh. Please give him the mic, if it's there.
Thank you very much, moderator. I was twice a policy holder of Takaful Insurance. And in these 2 years, claims were given, but I've never received mine. Where do I start, and how can I get the backloads? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. All right, second, please, Hajja.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Wajiha Abdullahi from Ahmadu Bello University. So I want to just make an addendum to agricultural part. Apart from climate change and flooding, we have advent of new diseases and pests, like the tuta absoluta of tomato. Just of recent this year, everybody have seen what happened to vegetables, and their prices escalated, and farmers have not revived from that shock. We have things like fall armyworm, the worm of maize. It wasn't ever even in Africa, but in these 2 years, it's really causing challenge to the farming. So please, what can farmers benefit in things like this? Because like a disease has come to my area, I'm a farmer, and there is risks, and farming is my only option. So in this kind of situation, what can the insurance help or the Takaful help us with? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hajja. Next, number 3, please.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Coming back to this, I have one single question. It's more or less regarding the supporting business growth. How do those banks support the business growth? Because this is the area we are very much concerned.
Business growth.
Yeah, business growth.
Okay.
They're all concerned about
not mitigating
yeah,
the
the
risk.
business growth.
Business growth.
Yes,
so
sir.
the panelists have had you, so
Yes.
we'll come back to you. All right, the last one, please. Maybe we come to the second round. Prof. Aishine, he is the last one. Please for now. We have 2
Okay,
minutes.
thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm Adam Abubakar from Pension Industry Non-Interest Advisory Committee.
Chairman, yes.
Thank you for allowing me to contribute. I have 2 contributions. One is a question concerning the gap. One of the challenges identified in the industry of Islamic finance is the issue of awareness. We've seen actually the role played by so many regulators and so many operators, particularly the banking sector. But I didn't say we didn't see, but I just want to ask what the Takaful operators do in order to create more awareness. You can see one of the key operators or key actors in the industry, our colleague, Associate Professor Ali, is just saying that he's just for the first time hearing about one of the Takaful operators. So I think there is much to be done. The second issue is the issue of surplus, which is one of the secrets behind the growth of Takaful. When you look at the sectoral analysis of the Islamic Financial Services Situation Report of IFSB, of that of 2023, you will find out that horizontally, Takaful is at the very low, just less than 1%. But when you look at it by year-on-year growth, it is up to about 16 to 17%. One of the secrets behind this is that issue of surplus distribution, particularly in Nigeria here, we've seen it. So what the operators are doing to sustain the tempo. Thank you.
All right, sustainability. Thank you very much, Prof. Let me open it. The questions are general. So, and the time is against us. I want to give 1 minute to each to respond, at least 1.5 minutes, so that we can take 5 minutes and can conclude with the last second minute. The lead paper, please.
Right. I think the first person that asked the question about claims, that the claims have been paid. Claim can only be, you can only make a claim when something happens. If there's no incident, then there's no need for you to make a claim. Surplus, thank you very much. So I'll address the first and last speaker regarding surplus. And I'm going to speak from the Noor Takaful point of view. Alhamdulillah, since we commenced operations, every year we have been paying surplus consistently. We have never missed 1 year of paying surplus. Just last week or 2 weeks ago at the African Takaful and Non-Interest Finance Conference, we distributed, or we announced the distribution of 152 million naira in terms of surplus distribution. And one of the challenges we have is when our participants are completing the forms, the proposal forms, we kindly request them that they provide their account numbers. And now we've made it actually mandatory. If your account number is not on the form, we would not process your business, because we have the challenge of, it is our obligation that once surplus is declared approved, we should distribute it. In fact, our ACE has given us that we have to distribute at least 95% of the surplus. So please, if anybody has not, the funds are there, we can speak and we'll make further announcements. We have work to do in regards to that. And surplus is based on a number of factors, including approval from the regulator. There are a lot of things that go through surplus. If I speak for Noor Takaful, we have been paying this on various classes of business, not all classes of business, but most of our classes of business we've been able to pay. And one of the key things in ensuring that it is sustained, it is good and proper underwriting, ensuring that you only, as much as possible, look at the business. As Ibrahim Shehu has stated, we are risk managers. We try and mitigate. So we ensure that, look, the risk that we're taking is adequately priced, so that if anything happens, the risk fund can take care of that claim, and there's adequate reserves at the end of the year for surplus distribution. Regarding agric, there are a number of agric products that all of us have. We need to sit down with you, identify what your issues are, what risks you have based on historical performance, sit down with you, look at where your farm is, what are the peculiar issues in that area, and then we can come about with a customized product and solution for you. What we do is provide solution, not just sell products. You don't even sell Takaful. You subscribe to Takaful. Thank you.
Mr. Nasir, please, can you make your comment?
My comment is on the agriculture on surplus. I'm less than 1 year in the market, so I have not operated for one full financial year. Like Aminu has said, there are different agri products that we have, and disease, for what I know, is part of what agri Takaful covers. And I think I've also, because I'm very good in listening to BBC when they were complaining, farmers around Zaria in Kano have recorded losses of because of a particular pest they call it Sharon. So I was just saying, look, these people have taken Takaful, they will have come back to business. But with awareness, we are going to.
Farmers are not really aware.
Yes, they are not aware. They are not aware. So it's easier to subscribe to Takaful than to wait for handout that come from government.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sabiu, please.
Yeah, on surplus, claim on surplus. Surplus has conditions. If you enjoy claim, you are not entitled to surplus. So it's possibly you had claim during that period. That is why you are not paid. You are not?
You are not paid.
Okay. And then secondly, it's an annual thing. And the company has to conclude their financial statement. If the financial statement is not concluded and delayed maybe from the regulator or otherwise, you may have delay in settlement of the surplus. But mark you, the surplus is not fund of Takaful operator. It's your money. No matter how, it will be paid to you, because they are not entitled to it. So I think maybe that company has some issues, but the money will be paid to you.
All right.
The agric product, normally agric, we start with risk management. Once you come to insure agric product to us, we look at the farm, and we conduct survey and look at everything, the risk. Then we advise you what and what to do. And then secondly, after that, and if you have a claim, we go ahead and settle the claim. So all this risk, the disease is part of the peril that we provide cover.
Business risks, anything on business business growth?
The business growth is supporting. Actually, what Takaful is doing is to support the business. So we don't give funds for you to grow your business.
So you should go to the banks.
But when you expand your business, maybe you take in a facility, we protect that facility. When you invest, you expand the business, we provide cover for that expansion. Okay. So with that, we have helped you to grow your own business.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim.
The awareness actually, is capital intensive. We are doing it, but we are collaborating now to do it, all of us, instead of one company per one company. So we are jointly coming together to increase awareness. So very soon you start hearing.
All right, so this is a good one, inshallah, collaboration. Yeah. Alhaji Ibrahim, somebody still is doubting that you can pay in 24 hours. Is someone somewhere online? We receive a question.
Okay, it's very simple.
All right.
After completion of discharge voucher, the person should understand the process of claim.
Okay.
But when you complete your discharge voucher and it's sent to us and it's acknowledged,
yes,
within 24 hours, inshallah, you get an alert.
Okay.
I'm assuring customers about that.
All right.
I have a few additions to what my colleagues had said.
Ahead in 1 minute.
Madam from Zaria, Agri Takaful is in two ways. There are two classes or separate portfolios that we run under Agri. There's the index cover, which is based on weather, which covers flooding, drought, typhoon, and the rest. There's the indemnity cover, which is exactly what you require. It's called multi-perils cover. The cover has fire, theft, disease, pest, and all of those things that can easily happen to crops. So when you are approaching the customer or the participant or a Takaful company is actually approaching you for business, it is actually the indemnity cover you require. And so therefore, all the perils will be listed, and then you'll be able to know clearly ab initio that whatever happens to your farm, you'll be adequately compensated. I think that's important to mention. Secondly, just as a rider to publicity, we have done road shows. I am aware, for instance, for our company, we have done road shows in Lagos, in Abuja, and we're planning to do in Lagos. Kano is another major center that we want to storm, and then make people know that, yes, Takaful company exists, and they exist for their benefits. NICOM had graciously supported us to carry out 2 days in collaboration with Katsina State Government, sensitization workshop. People contributed, and because we are all Muslims, sensitization was made to people to know that Takaful is an Islamic act that you must do as a Muslim. You don't have option. If you are a Muslim and you are enjoying any benefits that requires or you have any asset to insure, you cannot go to the other people. If you do, you are empowering them against you.
All right.
So you should know. Thirdly, and which is finally my appeal, is because everywhere in the world, Takaful thrives more when there are Islamic banks.
Yeah.
I'm appealing to us all as Muslims to patronize the Islamic banks. Because sincerely, the figures and statistics were very, very discouraging. And I remember when NDIC actually rolled out the figures the other time in Abuja, it was as if the Muslims in Nigeria are not even sensitized at all. Yeah. We still did not appreciate the difference between the Islamic institutions and the conventional.
That's right.
We still think that they're the same. They are not the same. We must do this to strengthen our faith and to have reward. If you do Takaful, first and foremost, you must know that you are performing religious obligations. Yes, so you have reward in the hereafter. And when you don't have claim, you will still get surplus. And we're paying it back to our customers. And then when you have claim, we pay as quickly as possible. And I think that's enough for you to run, to invest, or to participate in any Takaful, policy that suits your need, because it's for the growth and benefit and sustainability of your business.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Please let us put our hands together to all the panelists. Mr. Aminu Tukur, lead panelist, Vice Chairman Noor Takaful Insurance. Mr. Sabiu Bello, panelist, MD, Salam Takaful. Mr. Nasir Abubakar, Crown Takaful, MD Crown Takaful. Mr. Ibrahim Usman, MD Jaiz Takaful Insurance. Let us put our hands together, please, to appreciate them. They have done well. This session is one of them, because you can see full house, and the discussions. I wish we have the whole day to discuss, because I have a lot of questions to ask. I'm sure you also have. But nevertheless, the journey has begun, especially with this collaboration, with the understanding of the need for massive awareness creation. Inshallah, we can together succeed. Thank you very much. With this, I end the session, and I appreciate you. Jazakumullahu khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, the final panelist for today.